Morning everybody, live from Evans Towers in Pencloud. Now I know you thought you'd got rid of me, but here I am with my big 80s hair because I can't get to the hairdresser, and I've got my big 80s eye makeup on to go with it, and a pair of specs that are not actually mine on my head in a vain attempt to keep it out of my face. I hope you're all okay. This is obviously not an ideal situation, but Helen and I have been thinking about you lots, and actually we want to keep ourselves connected to you as much as you want to feel connected with each other, because Tuesdays and Fridays are a really smashing part of Helen and my week, and we love what we do, and we love you lot, and I'm certainly missing you lot. I'm speaking on her behalf. I know that's what she thinks. Now I'm hoping to do this daily for you. And I'll send it to Clever, Helen and Andy, and they'll upload it because Andy has made Musical Memories our own website, which is really nice because you may be able to share things with us. So I was thinking that if you wanted, and most of you have got Helen's email address, if you have any special requests or birthdays, why shouldn't we do what we just normally do and celebrate those special days, particularly at this time when you can't have a big party and cake. Well, you can have a big party and cake, but probably just the one or two of you. That's what Fiona and I would be doing if we had any birthdays, but we're both winter babies, as you know, so we got some time where maybe things will be back to normal, who knows. So for the next however many weeks, I am going to be the Welsh Lorraine Kelly, because I will be live in your living room every morning. Now, I would, at this point, try and do a Lorraine Kelly voice, but every time I do a Lorraine Kelly voice, I just end up sounding like Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, hello, dear. That looks lovely. I have a generic Scottish accent, so I can't actually do Lorraine, but I'll just stick to myself. So really, all it is just, I suppose, for you to have something to tune into daily. And it's given me a bit of structure to my life, to be honest, because I try and get up in the morning and I try and do this thing called this Joe Wicks. I think I told you last week. He's this fitness guru, apart from the fact he's about 18 and, you know, super duper fit, and he's boiling up and down. I'm really doing my best, but I don't recover for a long time afterwards. So I get up and I do that, and then I'm going to do our daily podcast, our daily meeting, our daily sing. I've got my lovely assistant Fee on with me this morning. Show us your hand, Fee. There she is. And we may even do a little duet for you afterwards, because we found a nice song last night when we were having a bit of a singing session. We may share it with you. It won't be perfect. I don't think it's going to be a Christmas #1, but you may enjoy. Okay, so we're going to do our usual thing. If I just turn on my keyboard. Oh, it's nice and loud this morning. It's very temperamental, my keyboard. I hope you can hear it. And we're going to start with a bit of My Bonnie. So, arms up on a B, arms down on a B. Don't expect me to do it. I can barely play and sing at the same time. Never mind wave around. Here we go. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. Bring back, oh bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Bring back, oh bring back my Bonnie to me. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. So bring back my Bonnie to me. Bring back, oh bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Bring back, oh bring back my Bonnie to me. How'd you get on? Was everything all right? Did you manage without Helen? I never do. Okay, why don't we, for our Hel, it's her favourite. Can I just share my tea with you? Now that is a cup of tea. I told you, I need sustenance after Joe Wicks. So, let's have Daisy. I don't know how much I can remember of verse 2, but good luck, everyone. Come on. goofy. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two. Michael, Michael, here is my answer true. I can't cycle, it makes me all black and blue. If you can't afford a carriage, there won't be any marriage, and I'll be damned if I'll be crammed on a bicycle made for two. There we go, we're nice and warmed up now. Well, I am anyway. I'm still perspiring after Joe Wicks. Now then, I thought a nice one to start with would be one that's a really jolly and uplifting one. We don't do it very often, and you may not be entirely sure of the words. So, a little hint, if any of you has two devices in your home, swanky devices, for example, a phone and a laptop computer or a desktop or whatever, or an iPad and a phone, most of us have phones, there's a really good site that I'll talk in between and tell you what we're going to sing. And if you want to and you feel you need the lyrics to sing along, it's called the A to Z of lyrics. And that's what I'm going to follow, because I've got my cheat here in case I forget the words, because I actually forgot the words of Top of the World Looking Down on Creation last week. I don't know how I did that. So if I give you chance to find that, there's no pressure, there's no rush. It's just if you wanted to join in, because these podcasts are a bit random and they're not going to be all our familiar songs, because you have those on your CDs anyway, and we're doing something a bit different. We're going, I'll just give you that chance to find them. So this, we're going to do the one called Rose Garden, you know. So, I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. And I think the name of the lady who sang our version was Lynn Anderson. Okay, so I've got my backing track here. If you haven't got your lyrics, don't worry, just have a bop anyway. Here we go, everybody. Let's see if I can do this. Where is it? Top 7. Thank you. Oh, hang on. I've got to take it back to the beginning. I was having a practice last night. I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gonna be a little rain sometime. When you take, you gotta give, so live and let go. Oh, 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 I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. I could promise you things like big diamond rings, but you won't find roses growing on stalks of clover. You better think it over. Well, if sweet talking you could make it come true, I would give you the world right now on a silver platter. But what would it matter? Here we go. So smile for a while and let's be jolly. Love shouldn't be so melancholy. Come along and share the good times while we can. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gonna be a little rain sometime. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. I could promise you things like big diamond rings, but you won't find roses growing on stalks of clover. You better think it over. Well, if sweet talking you could make it come true, I would give you the world right now on a silver platter. but what would it matter? So smile for a while and let's be jolly. Love shouldn't be so melancholy. Come along and share the good times while we can. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gonna be a little rain sometime. I beg your pardon. I think this is it. I never promised you a rose garden. Oh, wow, we did it. Hooray. Excellent. Okay. Oh, hang on. It's gone onto a playlist now. It's gone onto Rawhide. I never got round to teaching us Rawhide or to learning it myself. Right. I'm having my drink. Excuse me. I know it's not often you've seen me with a cup of tea in my hand, is it? It's normally something different, slightly clearer and paler and more bubbly, usually. I know. And it's usually after 6 o'clock in the evening. Anyway, so I think our next one needs to be a nice, gentle one. You don't need the lyrics for this. We're going to do Edelweiss. Oh, there's Fionn. Hi.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. You don't have to apologise. So we're going to do Edelweiss. If you want to call that up on your devices now, you can. I don't think I need the lyrics for this. I hope I don't, after all these years of having sung it and watched Christopher Plummer only last week, again, playing his guitar. Sorry, I just went all glassy-eyed again. Okay, so here we are. Our favourite from The Sound of Music, Edelweiss. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright, you look happy to meet me, blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright, you look happy to meet me, blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Oh, isn't that lovely? Love that. Okay, so this is the song that Fionn and I were learning last night. I don't know how well it's going to go. I've got to make sure I get all the words and the lyrics right. So but Fionn's telling me to do this, and now I've gone all lopsided on the camera. So, but I've got. That's all I can do. But this isn't going to make you laugh because I've got a pair of Jack Duckworth glasses because I can't actually see properly. So I've got wonky glasses. Okay, there you go. Now then, what I was going to say was this. The name of this is really interesting because this gentleman. Whose name is Eric Jones. Eric Jones was the deputy head in Ysgol Dyffryn Gwyr, and that is the comprehensive school that Fionn goes to. And I used to teach there in 1843 when I was in my 20s. And he was the deputy head there. And he was also a very, very prolific, or he is also a prolific composer who's written some of the most beautiful tunes ever. Some of you may be familiar with a song called Tang na Feddwyr, which means the peacemakers. And Tang na Feddwyr is about the Blitz in Swansea and how devastating it was and how everybody responded to it and how some of us were actually really well looked after during a devastating time. Not unlike now, only with, less sort of physical damage, I suppose. But this song is called Fosfelin. Now, Liz will know what this means. Fosfelin was the original name of the place which is called Gowerton. Gower Town became its name very much later on. Fosfelin, villain or millin, is yellow, and Fos means bog. So Fosfelin means yellow bog, which was the original name for Gowerton. Can't help you on anything else, I'm afraid, but just remember, you're welcome. If you ever get that in a pub quiz, remember, half the prize money for me. Okay, so we're going to give it a go with my wonky glasses. Okay, good luck, Fee. Here we go. Enjoyed that in spite of my wonky specs. I'll get a new arm by next week, I promise, on my £1.50 spectacles. Thanks, Fee. Love that. Okay, I think we need a bit of Que Sera. We need a bit of Doris Day. Okay, so if you're looking for your lyrics, please be my guest and do so right now. Oh, Fee needs to know how to spell Que Sera because she doesn't know what language it is. Q-U-E. I think I probably know it, but who knows? I've just got to remember what key it's in, haven't I? Brilliant. Thank you, my lovely. Here we go. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. sera. What will be, will be. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Big finish. Que sera, sera. Hey! How are you all doing at home? You getting on okay? Anybody banging on the wall from next door? I must tell you, next Thursday, you know me, it's not something I ever do. If somebody asks me to do karaoke or anything like that, I'm very reluctant. I can't, you know, I say to people, no, it's my night off. But I felt, well, I think we're all feeling a bit helpless at the moment, aren't we? You know, especially I would imagine those of us who've worked in the National Health Service or in some kind of caring profession, teaching or whatever, but who for some reason is still stuck in the house to save ourselves and protect everybody. So, of course, I mean, I'm doing the same myself. But I think we're all feeling a bit helpless. But I think really the only thing I know is music, I suppose. So, no, and you know, it's not in my mind, it never matches up to being what I regard as a worthwhile profession. It's all a bit self-indulgent and so on. But last Thursday evening, I don't know what came over me. I thought, as a thank you to our National Health Service, to our frontline workers, to our key workers, to all the people who are keeping, you know, the bus drivers, the cleaners, everybody who's keeping Britain moving safely at the moment. I went out on my lawn and sang Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, and I thought, that's it. They'll never speak to you ever again. However, they weren't totally turned off by it. So this week, Thursday night, 8 o'clock, we're having Calon Lan. And the next door neighbour, whose daughter isn't even qualified yet as a nurse, but who is going in to help out on the front line, they are thrilled and they want to join in. So I think it's going to be a community sing-song in Pencloud. Oh dear. And I promise I'll try and get Fionn to cut my fringe as well, because I can't actually see behind my curtains. Anyway, that in mind, why don't we have a bit of Calon Lan? Good luck, everybody. We'll have the traditional tune. Nid wy'n gofyn bywyd moethus, a'r y byd na'i belau man. Gofyn wyf am galon hapus, calon onys, calon lan. Calon lan yn llawn daioni, teg a hiw na lili dlos. Dim ond calon lan all gani, gan i'r dydd a chan i'r nos. Pedyn nhw'n olyd bydol, hedyn ni an ganddo sydd, golyd calon lan reinweddol, yn dwy'n math o elw fydd. Calon lan yn llawn daioni, teg a hi ond calon lanall gani, cani'r dydd a chani'r nos. Hwyr a bore fy'n ymuniad, bwyd i'r nef a'r adau'n gan ar I ddiw, mwyn fy nheidwad roddi mi calon lan yn llamdaioni, teg a hiw na lilid los, dim ond calon lan ar gani, cani'r dydd a chani'r nos, calon lan yn llamdaioni, teg a hiw na lilid los, dim ond calon lan ar gani, cani'r dydd a chani'r nos. Fantastic. Well done, everybody. Okay, we're nearly coming up to the end, so I think we need to finish with a bit of Valderie. It's very strange because I'm watching myself and my actions are not fitting into my mouth and I feel like I'm in a slightly surreal world. So I hope it's not too disconcerting for you. And sorry about my specs. I didn't realise quite how wonky they were in that lovely song. And that song, by the way, that Force Fairlin song, Yellow Bog, is actually about things for which we are grateful. Lots of different things in my life I have to be grateful for, even though it's a bit odd at the moment. I have to be grateful for my beautiful home and my lovely neighbours, but most of all, my very, very good girl here, my lovely girl, Fionn. And I'm sure you're all keeping in touch with your children and grandchildren. Hang on, Fee just wants to know how to spell Valderie. I'll write it down for her. It's all right, don't have to apologise. Valderie keeps coming up as Valerie. I think we had that problem when I was looking for it last week when Andy and I were recording, or the week before last. Yeah, especially my beautiful girl here. So I'm hoping you're all managing maybe to Skype. Some of you do anyway. You're much more technoed up than I will ever be. As I said, I've only just bought a toaster. So we'll finish with a bit of Valderie. And I hope you'll feel a bit like you've had a bit of a sing today anyway. Okay, here we go. I love to go a-wandering along the mountain track, and as I go I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, my knapsack on my back. Eins, zwei, drei. I love to wander by the stream that dances in the sun. So joyously it calls to me, come join my happy song. Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, come join my happy song. Eins, zwei, drei. I wave my hat to all I meet, and they wave back to me. And blackbirds call so loud and sweet from every greenwood tree. Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, from every green, but not I'm up. Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, Valderie, Valdera, my knapsack on my back. Brilliant. I could feel the energy and the love and the singing coming down my screen, even though we're not live. Now then, something before we go. Last week, the week before, last week, we missed a very special person's birthday. It was our Helen's birthday. And I know that she missed you all, and she missed a lot of her family, not obviously her direct family, but her sisters and her mum and dad and so on. So I think we should sing a lovely, big, full of love and gratitude, I suppose, although she doesn't want to be thanked, I know that, but just to say we love you lots, Helen, and you know, I miss you, and I'm going to go, I miss you, and everybody missed you, and so happy birthday, mate. Here we go. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Helen, happy birthday to you. There you go, you got a special top C there, mate. Not everybody gets one of those. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love, and see you tomorrow.